What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. I'm doing something with my mic here, Virgo. I'm moving around a little bit now. It's kind of limiting my nature of my problem. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Drive. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Virgo, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, so even limited like where I can move my hands. I got to be more mindful of that, which I should always be mindful of that anyway there, Virgo. But Virgo, with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Virgo, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just wonderful energy all around here, Virgo. Now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Virgo, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that are like watching their Virgo, so definitely check them out. Very powerful insights that they bring, very intuitive group. I think you'd enjoy them. There's a link for a couple of astrologers that I also like watching their Virgo, some links for some apps. I'm going to start adding some books. I actually got a bunch of books coming in right now, Virgo. I'm really excited about that, but let me see. Let's get this energy a little more warmed up there, Virgo. Oh, all right. Oh, hold on. Not keeping any of those. That's fine. Oh, there we go, Virgo. Oh, interesting. All right, Virgo. I'm with it. Thank you. So, Virgo, you have the past life guides here, which is a card of karmic lessons, and present assistance. And I dig this, Virgo. You know, sidebar, depending on where your rising sign is at, if you have where would it have to be? If you have like a rising sign in Gemini, or your rising sign in Gemini, your IC could be in Virgo. And I remember reading somewhere that if you have the IC in Virgo, that you come from a lineage of witches. So that might be something to check out on your chart there, Virgo. But I do feel that there is this energy of really kind of paying attention to the signs here, Virgo. Looking for, I was actually talking about sort of like spirit guides and things with a Scorpio not too long ago, but I feel yours is a sign that can be so, being an earth sign, you're attached to this earthly realm in a strong way. You feel like Virgos are very great manifestors, but I feel it's, for some, I almost feel like that. Even like, let me make this a little bit smaller first, because I feel for some of you, it could be this energy of acknowledging where your family has come from, in a sense. Like maybe you're the first that's graduated from college, or maybe even high school, or just pursued this level of education. Maybe you're first to start your own business. Maybe you're the first to, I don't know, maybe build your own place, or whatever this may be kind of looking like there. I feel like it's like, how has your ancestors and the and just like your lineage kind of built you, who you are today. Maybe even doing some research as far as like into like one of those like 23andMe or like Ancestry.com or whatever, the those DNA where you get like the, I actually did one of those not to like maybe sometime last year, Virgo. I haven't need to look a little bit more into that, but I do feel like we can learn a lot of lessons from our past there, Virgo, because just because we're all about the future, that doesn't mean that we neglect the past things that have happened, even amongst our family, but especially with ourselves as well. The past is meant to give us that experience in order to act in the present to create these new futures that we either want to keep, those celebratory things from the past that we want to keep recreating, and one energies and the mistakes and things that we want to, learn from. And so I feel like, there's this balance here. I feel like of to Virgo about being caught up in the past, in the sense that we just had this, depending on when you're watching this, we're in the last little bit of energy of the full moon in Cancer. So you might be feeling, especially if you have any sort of like early Virgo placements, like around the full moon is going to be happening at like the 5th degree of Cancer. So if you have any Virgo placements around there, that's forming a sextile with your sign, Virgo. So that is very, very nice as far as like I feel like an opportunity to kind of make peace with any sort of past things and grow from that. But I do feel that, Cancer energy can deal with like ancestors as well. And I feel that this is getting into a more spiritual side of yourself there, Virgo. See how your guides are, maybe even past life ancestors' guides may be guiding you in the present. Those signs where you think about something like, oh man, I wish I had this opportunity. Then like a phone call pops up for you. Or, man, I wish I could get a job for this. And then bam, something happens here. We happen to meet someone who connects us to this. Like those sort of like serendipitous type of energies, and realizing that where it may seem like a coincidence or things like that, there are no coincidences. Everything plays out in divine timing here. And the thing with your sign, especially with, because Neptune, I want to say, has been in Pisces since about oh goodness, like 2008. I have to double check on that, Virgo. But we're getting, Neptune in Pisces has been opposing your Virgo placements over these last almost a little over a decade now there, Virgo, and that's been getting you into these sort of intuitive type of energies, embracing something a little broader than yourself, where Pisces is meant to learn from you how to take all that spiritual energy and incorporate it into the mundane. Yours is to how to detach from that mundane and remember that you are this spiritual being going through these human experiences, in a sense, and just manifest on a more profound type of level there, Virgo. I hope that makes sense. But let me get some tarot on this and get some kind of clarify this there, Virgo. And speaking of Cancer energy, that's interesting that this card is the 7th card, which is the Chariot card. That's one of Cancer's cards. And so is the 3 of Cups. That's your ruler in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer. I love that there, Virgo. Oh, let me get some more on this. Thank you. That's very interesting, Virgo. So you have the the 3 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Knight of Wands up right here, Virgo. And then you have the 9 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, and the World card in reverse here. And I feel with this energy, Virgo, that for some, if we're able to connect with some family members, maybe this could be any sort of just like ancestors, any sort of elders or anything along those lines, or maybe even some ancestors there, Virgo. I'm going to tap into a deeper intuitive side of yourself. I mean, go for it. And I feel too, Virgo, that there is this I feel a sort of like a really kind of heavy, stagnant energy that is going on with this little reversal storm that's going on here. And I feel it's like something here's trying to get brought to a close in a sense. There's some sort of karmic lesson that's going on through here, some sort of thing that we need to sit with for a moment. And because the Queen of Wands can be this sort of like impulsive, reactive type of energy here. And I feel there's some sort of lesson here that we may be kind of missing, that's needing some sort of present assistance here, that like we're needing a change of course in a sense if we've been finding ourselves not feeling as inspired maybe as of late with the Queen of Wands. Maybe we've been feeling this sort of low energy, that things haven't been quite working out the way that would have liked to. And let me get a little bit more with this Three of Cups here, Virgo, because I feel that's yeah, let me get a little bit more with that before I move on there. Yeah. All right. Thank you. So the Three of Cups here, Virgo, is clarified by the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the Justice card upright, Libra. And that's interesting, Virgo, because I feel for some that there's this energy of maybe we were getting ready to do something with someone here, just because I'm feeling like Libra energy can be one of relationships. And it's like I feel like maybe we're getting ready to start up with something with someone here, and things just didn't quite lead to where we wanted to in a sense. Maybe it's just like maybe you were pulling a lot more weight or working a little bit more than maybe another person was supposed like was going to. There something feels like there's a like an imbalance here. Just didn't quite start up like it could have, and it's just like maybe we needed to be mindful of the people that we were working with possibly. Or there's even something too here about it even feels like this too, Virgo, that if there's something that I feel like that is exciting you, but it's just like I feel like there's some sort of fear here or something that's getting in the way of this. You have this Knight of Wands who's a very passionate knight, that one that likes to follow his heart's desire here. And I feel like even this Ace of Cups is working towards something, doing that we're fulfilled here, but with the Page of Pentacles, we're afraid of getting this thing up to starting up and getting to this energy of celebration there. And it's like we're choosing almost in a sense to stay stuck, and it may not again be, Virgo, like you're actively doing this like or consciously, maybe like a subconscious thing, something where we need to get in like a hermit type of energy to find a more root cause of what this stagnation might be, what's preventing us from closing something out and starting something anew here, getting into this celebratory energy here with this Three of Cups. And yeah, I hope that makes sense, Virgo. But I think I'm gonna move out of that. That's an interesting energy there. So a little something to think about. But let's get another oracle card on this. I even feel with this, Virgo, it's just like I almost feel like with this past life, it's like it may not be like necessarily that you're like hearing voices or anything like that, but it's more so just like just like these breadcrumbs I feel like that are being left in order for you to start something new. You know, it's like your guides are trying to get you to this Three of Cups, Ace of Cups, Knight of Wands, where we're feeling this sense of we're in this company where people are kind of celebrating your accomplishments. You know, we're feeling the sense of fulfillment, sharing it with those around us. It's like a lot of passionate energy here. And it's like almost like ending the toil of something with this Eight of Pentacles. Maybe we've been, maybe we're going from, instead of working for someone, to working for being our own boss there, Virgo. Or, maybe we've been doing something in like the family business, but it's like you want to break this cycle. Maybe you've come from like a line, let's say, of who worked or who's been military, but you want to maybe be a party planner, or maybe you want to work with animals, or maybe you want to become an actor, or whatever that's looking like there, Virgo. That's sort of like what's coming through here. Very interesting energy. Hmm. Thank you. All right, Virgo. So you have the sensitivity and strength card here, which is a card of tapping the forces within. And Virgo, there's, because this energy to me with this, like these reversals, this Nine of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, World card, Queen of Wands in reverse, I feel that this is like this sort of like, it's stagnant in a way, but I feel like it's like enough is enough type of energy. I feel like at the rate that we're going to be in this state of possibly bitterness, even in a sense. It's like when we're not, it's like we feel we have all this potential, but we're not tapping into it. And I feel that there's something there that's maybe we've been needing to look at, that's needing this. Because maybe this is some sort of internal fear, possibly. Maybe there's this. Because it's not like I feel like we're afraid of doing the work there, Virgo, but it's just like. It's like it's a paying attention to your needs, and in that we're finding this sense of strength, being sensitive to the things that you want. And what like Ace of Cups looks like for you, what Page of Pentacles, like, I feel like maybe like this is like people may have this opinion about what you should be, what you need to be doing with your gifts, as opposed to what you want to be doing, what can really give you this sense of accomplishment. It's like we've been doing this. I know this Queen of Wands seems like she's just sort of settling, if is what I'm feeling with this. And it's let me get some tarot with this, Virgo, and get some more with us. Because I feel like even with this karmic lessons, it's like past actions here are needing to change. It's just like how you used to operate. That's a past life you. Maybe I feel like it doesn't even have to maybe even be that abstract. It could be where we're being better than we were yesterday, or even like an hour ago. Just doing something different, making these conscious changes here. But we were talking about Neptune. There's Neptune there, Virgo. Okay. Keeping all that, Virgo. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right, we got a lot to work with here, Virgo. So you have, and she's in reverse. So yeah, we got to talk about this, because I was thinking about that too. Because the third card is Empress energy, and you have the Empress, the Sun card, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Cups in reverse, and then you have the Seven of Swords, the Fool, the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and then the and then the Hanged Man here. Virgo has a lot of energy coming through, and I feel like that's just because we have a lot that we're working with these tapping into these forces within. There's a lot of abundance that's just kind of sitting. It's like we're resting on those laurels, in the sense it's like we're not stimulated by anything, and maybe it could be. And I feel there's this, the more that we kind of sit on this stuff there, Virgo, the more that these sort of feelings tend to bubble up there. Maybe we've been feeling this this sense of disappointment or of not like following these dreams. Or I feel like that's potentially where these energies can go if we don't get things moving. You know, the Fool is going out into new water or new territories here, and this like the Hanged Man is even this epiphany type of energy, seeing how we may have been sacrificing our goals in a sense to, I don't know, Virgo, to, it's like we're, it's even like the Seven of Wands can be like this card of resources for me, tapping into some sides of you that, and it's like really when the Seven of Swords and like the Hanged Man, Seven of Swords, like Hanged Man, Moon energy even kind of pops up. It's like, you know, there's this sense of, it's like there's this big realization that things don't have to be like with this Four of Cups, things don't have to be this sort of like boring, sort of like not really caring about where things are going. Like, it's very interesting here, Virgo. But I feel with the Queen of Cups being here too, there's this energy of, because the Queen of Cups is a very sensitive queen. She's like in tune to her needs. You know, she knows where, because she has a very ornate cup that she, you know, compared to the other court cards in this deck. And I feel she knows that there is this strength in sensitivity, you know, and in needing to do what the heart is telling you to do, in a sense, to follow these Queen of Wands, these passions here, and to get to this sense of fulfillment, to shape your world, Virgo, not anyone else's. And I feel like maybe that's why this resistance has been met, because we might be trying to create someone else's world in a sense, or follow some type of dream that has been prescribed to us, and then it still leads to the sense of disappointment where we don't get to that finish line, and then we're blaming ourselves as opposed to, or maybe even blaming these tools that we're following, as opposed to maybe even taking on a bit more responsibility for ourselves and the actions that we're found, that surrendering our individuality, maybe even a little bit there, Virgo, because the Fool is Uranus energy here. That's an interesting turn. But the Seven of Swords too gives me this thing of this, how he's carrying all of these swords here. It's just like there can be a lot, I feel like, we want to get accomplished on this world, and I feel like this guy, with him looking back, is almost like we're so, it almost gives me like this energy that there's never enough, like we can never be satisfied, or that are gonna, I don't know, like run out of road in a sense. I'm not quite sure how to explain that, Virgo, but I think I'm gonna leave that there, Virgo. There's just a little something to. Yeah, I hope that made sense. But let's get your last oracle card. All right, Virgo, so you have the Connections card in reverse here. And this is a card of partnership, contract, and commitment. And, you know, with this connection cards being in reverse, I feel that there is this energy of maybe even evaluating like who we've been connecting with so far. You know, if you've noticed that these partnerships, give me like a Six of Wands energy, where if these partnerships have not been, because I like that too. Speaking of partnerships, how you have both the Empress and Libra here, the Justice card. Venus rules over Libra, and one of their aspects that they deal with is in relationships. And considering that the Empress is in reverse here as well, you know, what relationships have made you not feel so abundant, where they've maybe even been this sort of, not been this lack of reciprocity, possibly even, or maybe there's been something it's just been keeping you from tapping within these forces here. Maybe they've been these in, you know, if we're noticing some sort of like, This sort of reminds me of, let's say, if we've been going on dates, Virgo, and we notice that we attract the same type of people. It's just like, where I'm not excusing what people do, it's just like, what are we doing? How are we playing our part in that as well? That these people keep cycling in. What lessons are we missing from these past connections? And how can we break this cycle, in a sense, the world card, in order to get to something new, the Fool card? Because that's even just kind of piecing that together too. There too, Virgo. The Fool is, after you go through the last stop of the major arcana of the world, we start all over again as the Fool there, Virgo. But I feel we're going to keep being in this sort of starting things off, but never completing something or closing things out until we find out there's something in the past that we need to look into. There's something that is, a lesson that we may be missing. And the Justice card is this card of cause and effect. And again, it's not just focusing on what others are doing to us, Virgo. It's how we're coming into the relationship as well, or a situation as well, if this is not something to do with people. But let me get your last tarot cards here to kind of to clarify this, Virgo. And the Queen of Cups, she's one that values all of her experiences that have happened to her. There may have been something where, for a moment she did Queen of Wands in reverse. There's that something that got in the way, maybe got wrapped up in some sort of emotions, some passions there, whatever that's looking like. But I do feel that we can change that, because even though a relationship may not have gone as it could have there, Virgo, that doesn't mean that it's any less important. It could be harder there to deal with, but oh, and there you are, Virgo. All right, I'm with it. Because Virgo, and that's interesting too that would pop up like that. So, all right, last little bit there, Virgo. So you have the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Knight, and you do got a lot of people here, Virgo. The Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit in reverse, and then we have the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess here. And let's switch back over, because, let me start with you, Virgo. Because with the Hermit being in reverse here, if we find ourselves kind of repeating a certain cycle there, it's the Hermit invites us to pause. And I feel like too, especially Hermit, Hanged Man, when they kind of pop up there, this is like a deep kind of reevaluation of what's going on here as far as the Page of Wands, the actions there. Because even all your pages in reverse, it's like every time we start up something new, it seems to be the setback. We get a certain thought that gets to come in. It's just very sort of, I don't want to say impulsive energy, but it's just sort of like, it's reactive. And I feel like it's there's this energy of needing to just like feel a little bit more here with the High Priestess being here. This understanding of our sort of base habits, in a sense. The Moon can deal with those sort of like instinctual type of things that we do. It can deal with intuition as well, but there's this habit that forms with the Moon, even when we think about our placements. And I feel it's like this High Priestess and this Ace of Wands is getting you to approach your energy in a different type of way, to kind of use this level of discernment between the connections that we made. And even the Moon too, the High Priestess, she's associated with the Moon. The Moon can deal with those past things. And I don't know, there's just something here about just seeing how we've operated. And the thing with the High Priestess too is like how what makes her so psychic and things is that you'd even think that she was a like a fortune teller or just like a seer, because I mean she is, but those that crown that she wears, the waxing, the full, and the waning crescent, it's like she takes the energies from the past, processes them at the fullness and the pleasure, or at the in the present to, she sees the energy that she wants to be in, and creates that in front of her. If that's how she intuits, and I don't know, Virgo. It just feels like that there's this new energy that's needing to come in here. Like things have just gotten real stale, either in the relationships that we're in, maybe the place that we're living in, but something like there's a plan, I feel like, to kind of shift things in a different type of direction there, to grow in some sort of way there. And I feel like this might be too how this energy is coming up is, we might be thinking a lot about these things just because where your ruler's retrograde in Sagittarius right now, and will be in retrograde in Sag to the 1st of January 2024, getting into the new calendar year. So you're in an energy to just you're in an energy where you're more reflective. You're in retrograde right now, Virgo, and or you're in reverse, and it's like just kind of tapping into sitting with yourself, doing some reflection, maybe doing some journaling, whatever that's looking like, kind of seeing where your thought processes have been. And have we just been sort of going with just sort of aimlessly here with this Knight of Pentacles, or time to get something a little more grounded here with this energy? And I think I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. That was very interesting. I hope that made sense there. But if anything resonated with you, and if you like that, Virgo, give it a thumbs up. Oh, is it going to do it? There it is. And share this, Virgo. If you know someone who's been, I don't know, maybe kind of stuck making the same sort of mistakes, or not tapping into this energy in a certain type of way, there's some sort of it's very interesting energy there, Virgo. And then subscribe there. Hi, you hermit. Hit that bell button to get in. I was going to call you High Priest because you're a High Priestess too there, Virgo. Subscribe. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit, look at you getting our ruler and the lovely Queen of Cups. That's one of Cancer's cards for me. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, come on over to the Jared and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Virgo. So I can get you out of here. Fascinating. I'm about to do their reading next. You got the Lovers card here in reverse, Gemini, Virgo. And, Virgo, I was even kind of looking with the Six of Swords too, that I feel that the Lovers can be a card of choices, and I feel like maybe the choices that we've been making especially if they haven't produced the results that we wanted. We try to move on to this new thing, but it's like we're still carrying something along the way there, something that's needing to be released, of an old way of thinking, an old way of operating. How maybe even some old groups that we may have hung out with, or something is needing to change there. And even I was even feeling with that commitment and that contract and things, connections. The Lovers for me can be a stronger connection with your higher self, and connecting with Source, and however that looks like for you there, Virgo. And sort of pay attention to these signs, those like signs of like things that are needing to change. Maybe you're however that may mean. If I was watching a reader the other day, and she had hit the nail on the head. I was talking with someone about just kind of people just in this sort of delusional type of energy, and she got the first 3 minutes. She goes, Cancer, I feel like you feel like everyone's just kind of delusional. And I'm just like, no way. And that's where I feel like but it's just like when that stuff's in your face, it's just like, what are we going to do about that? If that's something that you're noticing, how are we going to change those types of things? Because it's one thing for it to be true and then to not, okay, well, I guess that just is what it is. What you're going to do. No, like, what are you going to do in a sense? That's why I feel like this lovers is asking you, like, how could we can tap into these forces of change. Things don't have to just be something just because we, we can take some initiative to change something here, Virgo, if that makes sense. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Virgo. Thank you. All right, Virgo, how fascinating. So you have the frog card here, which is the 14th card, and the 14th card is Sagittarius energy, where your ruler's at right now. And this frog is about cleaning house and releasing emotional baggage. So again, whatever these karmic lessons are, they could, and I feel like these lessons that may be coming through here, Virgo, again, they could be as people, they could be as, maybe you go from one work situation to another, and you just find that it's the same old thing that's kind of happening there, Virgo. And it's time for a change, and I feel like it's releasing this a certain emotional attachment to something there, and listen to that intuition. Like, I heard last little story here, Virgo, and I feel like this will maybe kind of help kind of bring where I'm going home, because I remember talking or someone kind of coming in at this, we'll say this place I used to work at, and I mean just low vibrations. I mean nothing but just like, this sucks. I can't, like they like just a lot of just negative energy, and it's just like where I was compassionate as far as like, oh, I get that, but also at the same time, this is a little off-putting, because it's just like, then why are you, no one's holding you at gunpoint? Why are you here? Like, and I feel like those are the type of, and like being really tough with that. Like, why am I? What is this? Like, why am I holding on to this? The Ace of Wands, it's time for something different. When you feel, and that's what I feel like that full moon in Cancer tried to teach. When something doesn't feel right, in that same day that happened, Chiron is going direct, which Chiron is that wounded healer, and pushes that, takes us to that energy for change. And it's just like, if something doesn't feel right, then adjust it. Let's not just stay in that vibration, because you see what it does. And I feel like sometimes we stay in something just because we may not like it, but it's just because we're familiar with it. And so, it's one thing to go back to a past thing if you're going to fix it. If it's like, just didn't things quite work out at that time. But if we're going back to something that lowers your vibration, you know, it's making that connection with that, Virgo. So I hope that made sense. But you stay safe out there, Virgo. Getting caught in these cycles, and because this was a lot of energy that was coming through here. This is really fascinating. And you raise your vibration through the roof. I feel like it's like, hanged man, what are we sacrificing ourselves for? This energy here, if we're getting to the state of burnout and something's keeping us stagnant, like, let's get out of that. And I will get you, Virgo, on the next one. Later.